The COVID-19 pandemic has been said to disrupt the influencer marketing industry around the world, especially here in Africa. However, analysts do say that it's not time to completely throw out the rulebook, as most of these accelerations are accelerations of pre-existing trends rather than transformative shifts in the market. Well, over the past few years, the influencer marketing space in Nigeria or in Africa has grown monumentally, so big that top advertisers integrate them into every major marketing campaign. Well, most common in the industry are the mega and macro influencers. They're often more famous than influential and also have anything between 50,000 to over 1 million followers. Well, Lihle Nkosi joins us now from South Africa to discuss the challenges, the trends, and also the future of social media marketing, also known as influencer marketing. Good to have you on Newsday with us, Lihle, and there's quite a lot for us to talk about here with regards to influencer marketing. Let me start off with the strategy behind it. How strategic is influencer marketing for the growth of businesses today?
Thank you for having me. I think it's very strategic for brands to use influencer marketing. As we've seen, like you were speaking now about the trends, one of the trends is that a lot of businesses have stopped with the billboards and with mainstream media, simply because of the pandemic that is happening now. So a lot of people are moving more online, and a lot of people are prefer to use digital platforms instead of mainstream media like billboards and posters to advertise their companies, because they've seen that there's an increase in screen time because everyone is at home and everyone is trying to stay safe.
All right. I read an article written by the Forbes about the fact that influencer marketing is not as effective as it used to be. That it's on a decline, although people are still engaging in it very often, but it's not as effective as it used to be. Is that really the case?
I don't think so. I think the challenge has been more in businesses because a lot of businesses weren't prepared to move online. Speaking about myself, so I own a company called Social Art Productions, which is an events company. And for events to move online, I think we weren't ready because no one saw the whole pandemic coming. So it is a bit complicated for businesses that weren't ready, but I think everyone is moving online. I mean, we've seen that even fashion shows are now online. There's a lot that's moving online. You can even get all your essentials online. So, and influencers are the people that actually push your brand and advertise your brand, because now you can't drive, no one's driving around looking at the billboards because everyone was told to stay at home. There was lockdowns in certain countries. So I think the influencer space in Africa has grown because I've also seen a lot of influencers working with international brands, but there are challenges from the business side that have, for example, with magazines that have had to stop printing and have to just go online because no one is going out to buy a physical magazine, because by the time you read the magazine, everything that's inside the magazine has already been put out as information that is available online.
All right. Well, still discussing influencer marketing. If we have time, we'll probably look at advertising. Influencer marketing as it concerns shaping the attitudes and mindset of not only youths, but also of executives, workers, and influencers themselves for the building of a nation and successful businesses.
Yes. Sorry, what is the question?
I am talking in terms of influencer marketing as it concerns affecting the mindset and attitudes of not only youths, but workers, executives, influencers themselves towards building a successful nation or business.
Yes, with that said, influencer marketing does influence a lot of people, but I think a lot of apps have also started going towards making sure that the content that certain people view is determined by your age. I know that a lot of apps that I've downloaded, you have to now, there's 2 sections where you can say what age you are, because the content you create for young children cannot be the same content you're creating for 25-year-old people. So I think also a lot of brands and applications have to sort of move into that direction of making sure that you're not exposing young people to content that can confuse their attitudes and mindsets, like you say.
Absolutely, Lihle. It's crucial to make sure that content is tailored towards the right people. I'd like to speak to you now about B2C influencer marketing and then B2B influencer marketing, because I was looking at a report from top rank officials, and the report was talking about B2B marketing and saying that a lot of businesses are still struggling with B2B influencer marketing, and B2C is what's really growing. Would you say that that's the case here in Africa? And if so, how can we push for more B2B influencer marketing?
I think in Africa, in terms of the influencer marketing space, it just started. So before, we didn't really have influencers, but now there's people that are actually creating content on a day-to-day basis. And it's not something that a lot of businesses were ready for. And in terms of like the fees, people are charging different fees for different products. And I think the one thing that most brands have been concerned about is the authenticity of the person that you're asking to be your influencer. And if you're going to get results from what they're posting and what they're selling as the service. So I think in terms of Africa, we have a long way to go, but I've seen that the market is open because like now, we're speaking in 2 different countries, and that's what social media has done for everyone. You can communicate and link up with people in different countries and spread the brand and let it be known. So I think in Africa, it's still small, but there are a lot of influencers in Africa that are working with international companies. So there is really an opportunity to grow.
All right, Lihle, talk to me right now. We know that platforms keep changing with time, but at the moment, which is the hottest platform in terms of influencer marketing? If you want, for someone who is out there and is eager to actually get in or jump into this particular ocean?
I think Instagram. Instagram is the most influential app at the moment, and Twitter.
Instagram and Twitter. Some would say Facebook. I was thinking you would say Facebook. Since it still has...
But for some reason, Facebook isn't as big in Africa, is it?
Not as much.
As like the United States.
Yeah.
I think in terms of influencer marketing, a lot of brands look at your numbers because speaking, like, for example, here in South Africa, some of the modeling agencies, before you apply, you have to actually also give them the numbers of how many followers you have on Instagram. They're not really concerned about Facebook. I think Facebook is where a lot of business pages are, but Instagram is where the influence is because a lot of young people are basically influenced by what they see on Instagram. And it's got a lot of high screen time with people that are in like the youth range, including Twitter. Like from Twitter to Instagram, I think they work hand in hand because once you post something on Twitter, Instagram can talk about it. And once you post something on Instagram, Twitter can tweet about it.
All right, Lihle, paint for us, if you will, a graphic picture. Paint for us, if you will, a graphic picture of the place of advertising and marketing in evoking audience interest, which will lead to effective demand of content or product.
That will what?
I am asking you to paint for us a picture of an effective advertising or marketing campaign that will provoke, effective demand for content or product.
So with campaigns, there's a lot that goes into it when you're choosing an influencer, for example. So there's different influencers. Obviously, there's fashion, beauty, and other industries, sport. So whichever brand that is trying to obviously have a bigger impact with influencers, they'll have to choose someone who there's something we call analytics and insights, which are available on Instagram and Twitter and social media platforms, where you can actually look at the numbers and the age range and the target market of who that person relates to. So it will tell you which countries. And if that resonates with your brand, then you can use that person as an influencer. Because sometimes you'll realize you're selling a product that's for people that are, let's say, aged 30 to 50, and you are giving someone who is 20 years old to promote it, and all the person's friends and the person's followers are probably not of that age range. So then it doesn't make the campaign effective at all.
All right, just before we let you go, tell us about Reforming Africa. When you say Reform Africa, what exactly are we looking at here?
Reform Africa is part of Social Art Productions. It's our NGO, and we do we basically give back to the community. We do events, and we do, like, sometimes we go for workshops where because Social Art Productions does workshops, we sometimes do workshops for people that are underprivileged and then they don't have to pay for tickets. So it's like the NGO of Social Art Productions, which is my events company that owns Letizo magazine as well.
Thank you, Lihle Nkosi. There. Thank you so much for being a part of Newsday.